think that was the formation they were playing yesterday. They were playing the Black Star formation was 1-1-1-6-6-6. 1-1-1 the back. Charlie.
So
Hey.
anyway, we will get into that.
But the Black Stars really work.
I make slow.
I think
last
I remember the last time Black Stars even won in an AFCON.
They say we've lost about.
Ghana has one win in the last 10 AFCON games.
So the thing, no, it's not like yesterday. The thing is like the
long
whole
ago.
thing. No,
One
know they sit
win.
the thing spoil
10.
That was in
One
2017.
win
in last 10 AFCON game.
AFCON games.
10.
One win.
Charlie, I didn't know.
How can that be?
I didn't know.
The Black Stars of Ghana.
That's why I told her this Jesse went to where you just came to
No,
worry.
as for the support, you support it. You support the team because you are Ghanaian and that's all you have.
The thing no go be.
But for
For what I saw yesterday, the thing
you don't like him.
It's not a bad performance. This is a team that is in decline. Like this is not. It's not like we had bad luck.
You mean decline? We have actually declined.
Yes, so we are in the decline.
No, we are not.
No, what I'm saying that we have, you can decline and reach a bottom and then start going up. We haven't finished. We haven't hit bottom yet. So we are only second 93. So we are declining and we haven't hit the trough yet.
Have you seen a worse performance from the Black Stars?
It's not a performance alone. The team is not.
Just everything.
The whole thing just. Let's talk about something. For me, the reason I'm finding it difficult to give up is that when we discuss Ghana and then people say I should give up on Ghana, I say we shouldn't give up. So I can't come and say we should give up the Black Stars. But Charlie, no, I support the Black Queens.
Oh,
so I haven't given up on Ghana. But so it's like, because if I come and say I don't support like the Black Stars, I've lost hope. You say, but you every time we come and say Ghana sport, you say we for believe. So I believe in the Black Queens. I think when I look at their coach and their setup, they can qualify for the World Cup. They've not lost in a long time. They're a good team. They beat Namibia in a home and away second something. I think they are serious. Should commit more resources to supporting the women's game. Let's become like USA. Let's have a strong female national team and let's allow the men to do what they do. That's the way I resolve this because I'm tired. So me, I've given up.
Bernard, we have to be excellent across the board.
There you.
Beat the lower teams, so under 17, 20, up to the very top. We have to be, previously in the days of E.T. Mensah and the years before that, we saw a semblance of excellence, at least in these teams. The 17 guys were doing well on the world stage. Of course, they will tell you about age cheating, but at least there was a strategy. You understand? There was a strategy to get us to win something. So many years before that, the likes of, Mohamed Polo.
The only AFCON we've won was in 1982. That's the fourth AFCON.
Yeah, that's right. Really.
So it's been 42 years of not being able to win it.
Yeah, that's right. But you see,
and we've been to only two finals. 1992, which is 10 years after the 82 one, and 2015. So we just need to accept that we are not that great anymore.
No, it is true that
let's be measured in our expectations.
But you see,
you know what you do? You know something, when they qualify for AFCON, they are happy. Let's be happy we qualify. Based on our level.
Yellow me is not good enough. Me to adhere my inside song is not good.
You can have a certain view of yourself based on what you think you are. The reality is that in 42 years, you've never been at the top of African football.
But at least we've been to two finals, you have said, right?
1992 and 2015.
Easily won, right?
But we did not win.
1992, 20.
Yes, three. So three. 1992
against Egypt,
2010,
Ivory Coast.
And then 2015.
You understand? So, two against Ivory Coast, and then one against Egypt.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is that, look, in recent years, Bernard, I think the decay we're seeing in many other sects of our public life, those things are manifesting even in our sports arena. Because look at it. Boxing, Bobo, we can't boast of any world champion again. Since I was born, I can count Bazooka Korte, I can count Azuma Nelson, and all these greats. The guy who even went to eat Conway.
No, Clotte.
You understand? But sports, what's happening in the area of boxing now? Nothing is happening. The football, under 17, Bobo, we are not seeing
Why do you expect us to do well in sports when we are doing well? So economy, how are we doing? Governance, how are we doing?
You see, even
how are we doing? Where are we beating the world?
That is the only.
We are not beating the world anywhere. So why if we are putting too much pressure on the Black Stars?
No, you see, Bernard, they provide us with an outlet. The Black Stars give us something to cheer.
My point is that if you are China and you are beating the world in manufacturing, and you say you expect your table tennis team to do well in athletics or in table tennis, or you expect your athletes to do well because you are China or you are Germany, right? And you say you are the world's largest export economy and you export so well, and therefore you expect to translate that into sport. That's fine. My point is that look at Cocoa Board. Today, look at cash, look at your economy, IMF, look at governance.
Everything.
So you cannot expect how can a system that's not doing well on all those fronts then automatically produce the best football team in the world?
Go to Argentina. The economy is in shambles.
Yeah.
It's hopeless. The currency is collapsing.
Yeah.
There's a new guy who has been elected who is talking all kinds of things and hoping that he will turn the situation around. But what is godly to them, and I use the word advisedly, is football. And they have demonstrated it at various levels, regardless of the economic conditions they find themselves in. You understand? So we must at least be good at something. If our politicians are not good enough, if our economists are not good enough, if our journalists are not good enough, if our boxers are not good enough, at least in football, we should show a certain semblance of excellence.
Why should we?
Because
the fact that Argentina has a national passion which they put effort into to develop.
We have that.
But we have not developed that.
You see, we have the national passion.
But we haven't translated.
What we have lacked over the years or in recent years is the lack of leadership that will translate the kind of passion we have into positive,
so wait, are you talking about
verifiable outcomes?
Football? Because you're just saying Argentina's politics is some way. Maybe the way the football is set up in Argentina, you can have bad politics and still have good football. Because maybe the football is administered differently. So you can have very confusing national politics, but because the football culture is so strong and they have such talent, they are able to harness it to win. You get me? We have not been able to separate the political leadership from football administration. The football administrators and political leadership collude to mismanage football as far as I'm concerned. You get it? So the football is not insulated from the overall leadership. That's the first point. Then the other thing is that we have taken decisions over the years which have undermined the development of football at the lowest, at the grassroots level. He will tell you more about this. So it's not just a question of football should stand up because we have the talent. Teams like Cape Verde and all these people have a structure in place that's improving, that we are not. So I'm not hopeful. And then the other thing is that we are a cynical society, right? So as we sit here, somebody is going to build 100 AstroTurfs because that's what will give them the votes. I don't know where the science is supporting that data. Countries that have done better than us are using their money to develop pitches. We don't want to do it. Nobody's going to say it because it's going to bring votes. So a society that does not value quality cannot expect its national team to produce miracles. Just that if quality and excellence is something you ingrain, is habit. It's not something you wish for by cobbling 22 players together and giving the coach some money and then asking people to go and cheer them. That's not how you do it. You build it organically. People start, they develop the culture of it. You get me? So when they get into 12, under 15, under 17, they know how to win the plate. We don't do all that. We just spend a lot of money. They don't even tell us how much they're spending on the team. They say the media talks too much. It's all about the coach who's calling who. This is not a country that's ready to win. So it's funny for us to sit here and be hoping, watching the television, that the ball will go into the net. You can have some excellent players. As Amajan will come in, 2010 AFCON, 2010 we'll get to the final because we have a good coach, a good group of players who play well. But that happened in spite of, not because of, it's in spite of the mismanagement. You can have excellence. A student can be very good even though the teacher is bad. But if you want consistency, I can use I don't want to use something. You say I'm using my quiz. A school can come out of somewhere and win it once in a while because they have good students. But for somebody to win it 8 times like Egypt, there's a system in place that produces that winning. So if you don't invest in that system, everything in that school that I'm referring to pushes them to win, because whether you come in from 10 ones or 6 ones, there's something they've created. We haven't created it. Do you get it? So the usual suspects will be Algeria, Egypt, Cameroon. Even Nigeria, with all their talent, don't do that well. Do you get it? So I feel like from a non-football perspective, you and I are wasting our time. Let's find something else to do. Let's leave Godfred and Nathan to do this, because you and I, we don't even understand anything, and we are just frustrated, and every day we are sad. This guy, you are just wasting your time.
You see, we are talking.
Let's go and watch. Let's get golf, or let's get athletics or something. Let's watch something. High jump. Let's look for something else that will not give us pain. That we can just be happy and watch, like that. Or again, like again. Do you know again? Let's so that we can, because our heart. If we want to live long, we have to keep our heart. If we follow this thing, we will not grow old.
Let me tell you something quickly.
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you something quickly. All right. Cape Verde. You know, when you watched Senegal 92.
Oh yes, with
you loved it.
Zigging Shaw.
We were discussing it on Friday.
Yes.
You know what Cape Verde was doing in 1992 when we were playing?
What were they doing?
They were playing in a tournament called the Amilcar Cabral Cup. That was the only tournament they were allowed to play.
They were not even qualified to play for AFCON
at that time. Cape Verde's first World Cup qualifying series was the 2002 World Cup.
Wow.
In 2019 end of year, do you know the top ranked African country in football?
2019 end of year. It was who?
Cape Verde.
2019.
Yeah.
Oh, then we are sitting and surprised that we've been beaten by Minos.
I'm just saying, if you look at the growth, 1992 we were playing AFCON final,
and they were not even allowed to play the qualifiers.
They were playing badminton.
Their first qualifiers was after that's AFCON.
And then
the first World Cup qualification series was in 2000, the 2002 World Cup in Korea. That was the first time they participated. 2019 end of year, Cape Verde was the top ranked African country in the world. Ghana was fourth.
So that's in 30 years.
Ghana was fourth in that month. That Cape Verde was first. So look at the growth.
The transition.
And our decline.
So the chart showing Ghana's football fortunes is in decline.
I just want you to...
I picture what you're saying.
You can picture it.
It's very clear, very stark.
You understand? I just used 3 dates to establish
to 1992, 2019.
Yes. 2024. We get beat by them. 2013, we beat them 2-0. Mubarak Kwakaso
scored
twice against them. We beat them 2006 to qualify for the World Cup.
We went there to beat them in their home.
Them heavily. I remember
Funny.
Gordon Acham dismantled them.
Beat them
properly. 2024. The work has been ongoing for a very long time. All right. There's an interesting article. Everybody should find it on the BBC this morning. Part of it talks about how Senegal came to dominate African football.
Wow.
I'm going to read you a portion about. It says this: alongside the establishment of local academies and infrastructure, a pathway has been created to move talent from youth international level to the senior side. At grassroots level, we have a very broad base, and we are creating channels through which these players can reach the first team. The Federation asks us to put players who have played in the lower categories on the radar, so that each generation can move on from a lower level to a higher one. If they finish their category at under 17, they go to under 20. If they finish at under 20, they go to under 23s. The Chan team and the first team.
So they have the local team and then the main team.
Yes. Senegal's policy is to insist that coaches stay on the national bench for as long as possible. A roadmap has been put in place which ensures all national coaches have the same requirements in terms of training content and information. Participation, and this is key for me, participating in continental and global tournaments at youth level more frequently has helped boost the nation's fortunes. The process of reaching the top level is a gradual one. In the past, we didn't win in Africa because we didn't regularly take part in African competitions. If you want to win, you have to be there first. The first step is to solve the problem of being present at these competitions. And that's what Senegal has done. We need to be present all the time. And it's now that we are going to lay the foundations for winning the World Cup.
So they want to win the World Cup.
Yes.
All right, Sky, read some comments for us on the...
This one is coming in from Cecil Adam, who says that good morning, Citi. It's about time we threw our support behind women football.
You see? You see?
Let's invest in the women.
You see?
And they will do us proud. These women are giving us results.
Yes. Yes.
That's our new love. Patrice in East Airport says that, hello, Bernard. The problem of this country in every sphere is a lack of succession plan. There's nothing like that. Until then, forget doing anything better in this country, including football. We can't achieve anything. This one from Seth in Tamale says, Ben, point of correction. Ghana is good in breaking Guinness world records, bad governance, and other associated records. This one says, Rose from Spinkters. Bernard, you are a fan, not a supporter. Supporters never say die. But seriously, Black Stars and management team, please
Rose,
do better.
I'm a fan. I take it like that. I don't have problem. Problem mainly.
This one says, Bernard, I always say Ghana is the kind of country where everyone is developing around us and we are retrogressing. And we keep fan-fooling ourselves. Can you imagine? Fan-fooling ourselves. With past glories, i.e. gateway to Africa, first country to gain independence, blah, blah, blah. Take a look at the opening ceremony of that AFCON. Bernard, this country was once upon a time a war-torn country. It was never a war-torn country.
Yeah.
There were conflicts here and there, but not
No,
war-torn.
they had a war.
Yeah, but no, war-torn is
It was the war.
You can describe Somalia as a war-torn country.
Okay,
but
fair
not,
enough.
like
Fair
Cote
enough.
d'Ivoire. Our
No, I
leaders
agree
simply
with you.
wouldn't listen to anything, from football body to our government. These people remain in power, and trust me, nothing will work if they remain in power. That's what you're saying. Our systems don't work. It's one hopeless country we are living in.
True.
Charlie,
True.
that's serious. Hopeless power. Good morning, City. Everything Bernard Avlet said about the Black Stars this morning is complete description of Man United. Hard times if you are a fan of both the Black Stars and Man United.
Then Prince, we are
as I am.
suffering. Prince, come for a hug.
What you Chelsea fans say?
Oh, my Lord.
Even Middlesbrough, they beat them. Good morning, citizen.
Morning, oh.
Bernard, please come and join me support the
And love boxing.
and love boxing. I choose boxing because if I give my all to support you and you disappoint me, your loss would also come with your face full.
I like this. If I support you and you disappoint me, your loss will come with your face swollen.
Prosperity and some reality right here. Turn up my microphone. Shit.
All right, let's get in there. So you were basically laying the foundation and saying Cape Verde
They've come a long
closed
way.
the gap from 92 to 2019. Clearly, in 30 years, they've put in place structures to show that they've improved.
Yes.
Senegal is dominating African football because they have a plan and all of this.
Yes.
So you are not looking at yesterday's game in isolation.
No, yes, in isolation at all. It's because everybody who listens to the CTBS knows this conversation. We've had it several times.
So if we had even won yesterday or drawn, you still have said what
I
you
will
said.
still say what I have to say because you must prepare to win a tournament. You cannot win the tournament by accident.
You don't think you are prepared to win this tournament?
No, we did not prepare to win this tournament. Nothing indicates we
Argentina
prepared to
lost
do
the
well.
first match of the World Cup against Saudi Arabia and still won the World Cup.
But Argentina prepared for the tournament.
You don't think you are prepared?
No. You see,
We come to
if a
Kumasi.
team is prepared, you will know.
We come to Kumasi.
No, that is not preparation. That is not preparation. You see, yesterday's game, if you want a proper breakdown of what happened yesterday, listen to Dennis Odoi, the right back,
Okay. What did he
the
say?
one they call the professor.
What did he say?
He broke down the game yesterday. He said the biggest problem the team had was their structure. Nathan is the tactical man here. He said every single time that Cape Verde had the ball, there was too much space in between Ghana's lines. And the Cape Verdeans always had a spare man in those lines.
But that's poor coaching then.
Yes!
Brilliant.
Dennis Odoi said it clean.
Every time the
poor
Cape Verdeans
coaching?
had the ball,
Yes.
there was too much space between the lines.
Yes.
And they had an
They
expert man.
always had a spare
Spare
man.
man in those lines.
So was that a
always had a
formation
spare
or
man.
what?
Yes, that
Structure.
speaks to the overall team structure. It speaks to team discipline. It speaks to organization of the team. It's a coaching problem. Who has been talking about our poor coach? Me. Here. Every day.
Wait, you're saying that
They were not
you're
playing
saying
the
that the team is not properly coached.
Yes.
The team has not been
The
properly coached
team
for a
has
very
not
long
been
time.
properly coached in
For a very long
donkeys.
time. And what I just told you is not what I am saying.
This is what
This is what
said.
Dennis Odoi told you.
Is he not a member of the team?
He played right back.
He played
yesterday.
right back.
Where does he play? In
Plays in
this-
Belgium.
Belgium used to play for a very long time in Fulham.
And he said that the team, there was always a spare man.
Yes, in the spaces that Ghana was leaving that were so wide. Which is why, if you look at the goals that were scored, that move, that,
guy
that
G
movement,
everybody.
that movement on the left, Nathan can explain it.
Yes.
The first goal, for
the fir-
instance,
the
where
first goal.
they kept dragging Salisu
Salisu.
in.
So if you look at the goal, Salisu gets taken out of defense. He gets dragged out of defense. Jiku sees the empty space. he goes to cover the empty space, and it is through that empty space that the shot is played.
And then there's another empty space from the
Now
back.
there's another empty space that has been vacated by Denis Odo because somebody's movement has taken him away.
So he
So
goes
the
to
gap
cover.
is there
So
waiting.
the people are playing with us.
Yes.
That's why we're playing against Argentina. Convention internal.
You never know, but that's the point I'm trying to make. So yesterday, first things first, even with the selection, I was pleasantly surprised by the selection. Houghton took me off guard with that because it looked like a team that had, at least on paper, been sent out to play forward. Okay, if you look at Dashimeru, Baba, Combo, Konigsdorfer, Semenyo, on paper at least. But as soon as they started playing, you could tell that there was a certain lack of familiarity with them. So for the first 15 minutes of the game, Keved just dealt with us. And 17 minutes later, they scored. 17 minutes into the game, they scored. And Houghton post-match said that first goal rocked the team. In his post-match presser, he said the early goal rocked the team. I'm quoting him here. He said the early goal rocked them.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the thing. Why I complain about Houghton's reputation and why you bring in a coach like that to make big decisions, and he has not made the big decisions. Ransford Yeboah Konigsdorfer, who started at number 10 yesterday. Right?
Yes, his first AFCON.
Yeah.
Yes, his first AFCON.
Before this, he played 3 minutes.
Yes.
Huh?
He's
3 minutes.
He's been available for 720 minutes of
As in,
football.
he's been called up.
Yes.
But played how many
He's
minutes?
played 86 minutes.
Out of 700 minutes.
Yes. Out of 720.
For this same Ghana team.
For the same Ghana team.
And yet they started him
And a
yesterday.
chunk of that was last night.
Yes.
Oh.
So we threw him into the game just like that. Without actually... We've had several opportunities to play him in games.
We have
Friendlies.
not done that.
We have not done that. And then yesterday, big call. It didn't pay off. He looked lost. He's not a bad player.
How does he look lost? As in, he doesn't know where he is.
He did not know what to do.
He
He did not know which spaces to run into. It was very
It was
obvious.
because of him that we even lost the
goal.
goal
That's
that
very
we
good.
got.
It was
So-
very obvious he had not played with the people he had been paired up with for a very long time. He didn't know who to make off the ball runs for. He did not understand what was happening. And it was very clear to everybody who watched the game that he was struggling. They scored. We got back into the game, I must admit.
We did.
Semenyo, Paintil especially, did the yeoman's job of forcing to get us back into the game. And we eventually got our goal. We had momentum in the second half. And I was giving Houghton credit for that. Because if the team plays badly and I blame you and the team is playing well, I must give you credit for it as well. But then he again switches the momentum of the team by taking off Paintil and Semenyo, who had grown into the game and were starting to cause problems. Perhaps he felt that, okay, the problems they are causing, I can bring on fresher legs because of whatever to continue that. So he takes them off, brings on Nyama, brings on Andre for Konigsdorfer, and brings on Iñaki as well to try and push for a goal. That balanced the game immediately because we lost momentum. So Keved found their rhythm
again.
and started dictating the play. And they created quite a few openings. If you look at how busy Richard Ofori was yesterday compared to Vozinha, their goalkeeper, it would reflect. It tells a good story of the game. So,
But did Semenyo tell him that he was tired of them?
but you don't need to tell.
But
the
you don't
coach that
need to.
are
You see,
tired.
it's not Sky. It's not necessarily tiredness. Okay, so like Godfred was saying, when you look at the reasoning behind the change, any coach would think about it and say, you have the momentum, you want to build on it. So you can build on momentum in two ways. So you can reshuffle the pack on the pitch. You don't bring anybody in. You get them, okay, this is what we are doing. We are doing well. Let's keep at it. Or you bring fresher players to up the tempo. So that
It
was...
doesn't up them.
I'm coming. So Chris Houghton in his mind is saying that, okay, let me make these changes. And when I looked at like I said, the reasoning behind the changes, the profiles of the players he brought, it kind of made sense. The problem with the change was that two things. One, you bring on Andre Ayew, and in my head, he's supposed to be a secondary threat or a backup threat to Iñaki Williams. Andre Ayew never threatened the team going forward. He kept dropping into midfield, trying to touch the ball, trying to get onto the ball, trying to link, trying to go into the channels. It wasn't helping. The second thing which really upset me was that you bring on Enes Nyama, who's arguably one of the best one-on-one players in the team. And yet, Chris Hughton never manipulated the play to allow Nyama's
To be one-on-one with
yes,
everybody.
to get ISOs.
strength to get, because Nyama is good one-on-one with a fullback. Never did the team create situations where it was him and the fullback alone.
So what's
He
the
got
point of bringing him?
What's the point? He got 2 of those chances. By that time, it was late. And even that, Denisolo didn't even give him anything. So, for example, if I'm one-on-one with my fullback, if my fullback does the overlap, he
Then
leaves
you know-
my man in 2 minds. Do you
Either-
stay with
yes.
me or you go? That is my advantage. But we never created those opportunities for Nyama.
So both of you are saying that the coach know they see top.
And
Look, I have said it before. It's not new to you.
I-
It's
I
not new to
just
anybody listening
felt-
So
to
is,
me.
that, is it his English as confusing as Chris Hughton? He speaks nice English.
I think that this is it. He's been a poor fit for the national
Yes.
team. To be fair to him, I don't want to use any other word
No,
than to
it's-
say
it's
that
just-
he's a poor fit. I
It's
don't
not-
think
it's
that.
not working.
I don't think that Chris Hughton's principles fit
the profile,
the profile
of
what we do with our football here.
Really?
Yes, at least
As
for
in how we poorly run our football.
No,
That's
not
all.
necessarily.
there
I
is
don't know what he's
that.
trying to say in
There's
English.
There is that.
He wants you to say it in English. What are you
Yeah,
saying?
because
Sky,
where you are going
okay.
with this, I don't get it.
Think about
Yeah,
it.
coach your team, man.
Think about it.
Minibar.
So what kind of coach do we need?
So
I don't know what kind of coach we need.
Who has been the most successful coach of the team in the past
Milo.
30 years?
Yeah.
Milo. What did the then Milo do?
He had a clear plan of what he wanted to do from day one.
And he had the players to fit it.
Within 3 weeks of Milo taking over, if you watch the Black Stars, everybody will tell you, hey, one goal project.
This is the 2010 Milo.
They will tell you what he
And
wants
he
to do.
knew what he wanted to do with the team.
And he fit players in who would do
What he wanted.
what he wanted. So the profiles, and I spoke to you Friday about understanding profiles, which has been Chris Hughton's biggest problem. He has failed to understand the profiles of the players that he has. Some of the coaches we've had, the ones who've done well, because we haven't really won anything yet, but we've done well.
So if you are ranking coaches in the past 40 years that we've not done well, maybe past 10 years,
Oh, of course, Milo
Milo is number 1.
Milo takes.
Who's number 2?
I think Avram Grant's run to that AFCON
Yeah,
final
yeah,
puts him in a
yeah.
good light.
Abraham Graham was also good.
Yeah.
What did
Very-
Abraham Graham do different?
He was very pragmatic. He took over the team with very limited time. Went with what he didn't try to change the team too much.
So this is a free Aqua Wakaso
Just
double
sent, yes,
midfield.
Just sent the team there to be effective, and put the players in their original positions. He didn't say
He didn't try to reinvent the
no,
wheel.
no. He just went with the basics.
And they did that well to the final.
Yes, and they did well. He just went with the basics.
And then Kwesi Appiah
Kwesi Appiah also did well.
is okay.
Yes, Kwesi Appiah did well. Kwesi Appiah did a lot of things well. I think the biggest hindrance of Kwesi Appiah was his inability to grow as a coach.
Stamp his authority.
Yes, with the national team.
Move to the next level.
Yes.
So some of the players felt like this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
I think that is what held him back. Other than that, Kwesi Appiah, I think, did a really good job. as
So
a
you mean
starting
these
coach.
3 coaches rank higher than Chris Hughton in their work with the Black Stars?
With this Black Stars,
now,
Oh, okay. Then in terms of
Bernard,
talent, I'm coming
let
on. Again, so I've asked you a question about coaches.
Yeah.
And you've said Milo was the best in the past maybe 20 years, Grant, and then maybe Kwesi Appiah. In terms of talent, how does this team compare to previous teams?
I think we've had better talent than this team. We've better
Then we can't
talent
blame
than
the
this
coach that much.
team. No, that's
my-
Okay, what's the most
You see,
talented
but-
team we've
but-
had?
but-
I'm coming, just a minute. Since say 2008, when we hosted the AFCON, the one that the French guy Claude Leroy put the day in to the chagrin of most people, and we went to we're third. We had Owusu Abeyi and those guys. This was the Sule Muntari Asian team, 2008, where we hosted the AFCON. How does this team rank in talent?
between 2005, 2014, Ghana was a world-class national team.
2005. So the 2006 World Cup team,
Yes.
the 2010 World Cup
2010
team,
World Cup team.
the 2014
The
World Cup team,
Yes, we had a
all the Milo Doya
But
guys
We were. I'm not saying we're a good team.
were world class
We were
team
a world-class team.
up to 2014.
Yes.
And then the Grand took them to the final of AFCON in 2015.
Yes.
So that was the highest point.
Bernard.
Then from there, it's been
team,
downhill.
That team, those teams on a good day
Can beat anybody.
can take on anybody.
So after the AFCON 2015,
Those teams on a good day will take on anybody. They would win some, they will lose some, but they will not look out of place.
those are the guys who play Germany.
They will not
1-0.
look
I'll
out
tell
of
you-
place.
Bernard, I'll tell you a story.
This team looks out of place against every opponent we play.
And you think the decline started after 2015.
Oh yes,
It's been downhill since.
it's been mixed.
Well, up to 2017 AFCON, what was our position?
Wait, 2017.
2017, we finished fourth. We lost the
Yes, we lost
semi-final
the
to
semi-final to
Cameroon.
Cameroon 2-0.
Yeah.
So
2-0.
we went to the final in 2015, and then we went to the semi-final again in 2017, and then 2019 what happened?
Round of
Bobo.
16.
Then
Lost to
so it's been downhill since
Yes,
2017.
lost to Tunisia on penalties.
So be like the team. There's evidence to the fact that the team after 2015, the team will go.
Yes.
You know.
You are going to say something.
I was just going to talk about Godfred was highlighting the Milo team, right? Milovan's team, and in 2010,
You start that story before.
I've told you about
The coaching
about
and
how
he matched
how
the
how he
balance.
matched Jogilov at every turn, every switch Jogilov made, Milovan responded.
Yeah.
You know, and at this level, that's what you are supposed to do. And I think that when you look at Chris Hughton,
It's not in that. It's not.
I think, look, all coaching, I boil coaching down to two things: reading and reacting. So you see a situation, you respond to a situation. That's what all coaching is. You see a situation, this is happening, let me respond. And the greatest games that have been won have turned on very, very important coaching decisions, sometimes complicated, sometimes simple. But the point is, when you are on the touchline, that is your job. You see a situation, you respond. And I thought yesterday, Chris Hughton,
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is this a coaching problem or the whole system problem? Because you see, if you have the wrong players and the wrong agenda and the wrong build up, you can't expect to
It
win,
won't
right?
work.
So you could have a great coach with good players, but if you're saying, for example, there are some players who are supposed to be there who are not there, the criteria for selection is not clear.
You will
the
have
money
issues.
they spent, we are not sure what they're using it for. Like, why would a team want to go and camp in South Africa for a tournament in Cote d'Ivoire? Do you get it? So, with all of that, maybe we are even being too hard on the coach. Maybe we should look more at the issues around.
But which is why I make the point I always make about the state's involvement leading up to the GFA before I get to the coach. A lot of times people don't understand why I refuse to just highlight the players and all those things. The players come from somewhere. You understand? And which is why I also read for you the Senegal article. They understand that you cannot just show up and win. Ghana's mentality for the past decade has been you can always just show up and win. Almost every other country that seems to be doing well has come to that realization that you must put in place certain things, do certain things in a certain way. It's a gradual process. There is no quick way to win. Ghana, we're only interested in show up and win. Big promises, like you said, because we've attached football to politics.
So they went to meet the president and he said,
Big
break the
promises.
40
Yeah.
year.
So
When they
yeah.
knew in their heart of us that they hadn't put in the work to allow us
justify
to
that.
win that thing.
just to highlight the Senegal example, do you know they made the final 2 years before they won it?
Yes, I remember.
Yes, they
Even
lost
Cote
to-
d'Ivoire,
they lost to
don't forget,
Algeria.
almost all the teams that win.
Make the final before.
So the Nigeria team that won had done well before. Cameroon will do the same. Egypt will do the same. So there's a certain. But Ghana had been to the semi-final. Look, to be fair, from 2008
We had a good semi-final, right?
to
We've had a brilliant-
2017,
Yes.
we were always in the final four. That's not a bad team.
No, but that is what I just told you. That team would hold its own against any
So we
team.
could say that between 2006 to 2014, it was bad luck.
Yes. But you see,
Now, just to be clear, it was bad luck.
it was football.
Hold on. If you are in the top four on the continent for for 15 years, that cannot be an accident.
No, it's not.
So we can say between 2006 and 2017, we didn't win because of bad luck. But
Or-
post 2017, it's been downhill.
We've just not been prepared properly. You see, because if you look at the generation of those years that you're talking about,
Yeah.
you would have a lot of players who ran through that generation. Most of them are coming to the end of their careers, or most of them have come to the end of their careers. Andre Ayew is the last holdout
Of a generation.
of that generation.
The 2009 under 20.
That 2008 generation,
Okay.
because he was part of the 2018, whether we like it or not.
So
He was
Andre
there.
is the last.
He's the last holdout from that
So
generation.
who is the new person after Andre? Is it Kudus now?
We don't know. Because Kudus is popular because of what he's doing with
Western.
the club side.
But
But
then
Kudus
Baba
is
is-
yet to
But he did well in
establish.
the World Cup. Oh. He did a bit. This is good two goals
takes
and
a
assists.
bit more than that.
He was an emerging star for the world.
That's what I'm saying. It's emerging.
How old
It's
is he?
about being consistent.
How
He's
old-
23 right now.
23.
It's about being consistent.
Is he our best player now?
Yes, without a doubt. Kudus is fine.
Who are the
Away.
players we should build a team around? Assuming we said, you know what, let's forget anything. Let's do what Cape did. Let's take a team that we are building for the next 2 World Cups. Maybe not even the 2020, like the 2030 World Cup. who should we build the project around?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't even. Oh, that's me. We don't even have the players.
I don't know. Because you see, here's the thing: the
Sky
way
Sports.
our football works, players
could be,
emerge. The way football works, players emerge as and when.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Kudus this year. Next year, and then everybody's talking about Kudus. But the hottest name in Ghanaian football, actually, if you went to Europe, it's Osman Bukari. Hey, the one at Northern. That's another Osman
Yeah.
at Northern
Nonchalant,
at the moment.
Really?
He's Kudus 2.0.
Serious?
Everybody wants that boy.
Not Jalan.
Yes, everybody.
Is he in the national team?
No, he's yet to kick the ball for any of our national teams. Everybody from the EPL to
How old is he?
he's 19.
Is that good?
He's very, very good. So that's what I'm saying, that what we need is to
And
find.
yet, our system couldn't even find him and give him a shot at this cup AFCON.
I've told you that our system is non-existent. It's the right to dream system that has saved us.
So
And
how do we choose footballers? How do we select our team?
we need to ask the
There's a very interesting text I want you guys to comment
Osman
on.
Ibrahim.
Osman Ibrahim. Thank you.
Let me get you read this. Let me just comment on this.
Okay.
It says, Bernard, the money is not yet in women's football. They will mess that up as well when the money comes.
Yes,
We lack integrity in everything. That is why we will continue to fail.
it's true.
You agree?
I agree. Because
So you are saying there are much deeper
because
non-football issues at
Because
play here.
the thing is this, Bernard. Some of the things I've spoken about, it's not hard. It doesn't sound pleasant to people. It sounds repetitive and all. It sounds like, oh, it's very simplistic. Okay. But give us the pitches, not the astroturfs. And I'll finish on that point. Give us the pitches. Give us the coaching, like all the other countries are trying to do. Right? Cape Verde, and I'm sitting on Cape Verde because we
just played them, so it's a
played
good
them.
reference point.
It's a good reference point. As part of the process, you know Gelson Fernandes, former Manchester City
Yeah,
midfielder,
he's a
former
Cape
Sunderland.
Verde.
From Everton.
Yeah, he's from there. He's currently, I think he works with CAF or something, or FIFA as supervisor of African memberships, and spends a lot of time in Cape Verde because he comes from there. And a lot of work has gone into their game in terms of developing facilities and centers. A lot of that has also gone into other countries. If you travel around and see what they are doing with their football, the facilities that are available, the structure that are available, the capacity of coaches. Okay, we don't have that here.
Yeah.
So we will always struggle. Look, Bernard, I brought a 15-year-old boy to Ghana recently from Ivory Coast. He played in the CAF Inter-Schools Championships. Bernard, I am not kidding you. I do not think, as we speak, there is a 15-year-old in this country
Who can play like that
who
boy?
can play football like that boy.
15, Pepe.
I have not traveled around enough.
Not football age.
Yes. No, 15 Pepe.
Or Bobo.
Bernard,
Midfield.
he's two-footed.
Kai.
His understanding of the game. Basically, I can print out a tactical sheet of what needs to be done. He looks at it. He will tell you, okay, we are doing this, we are doing that, this goes here. If I give that to some of my Ghanaian players, they'll ask me, boss, what is this? The X's and the O's. They don't. He can't read it. This kid can read the X's and O's. Why?
At 15.
He's been coached the X's and O's since he was 9 years old.
In Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes.
Hey.
So he understands it. You
So
give
what-
him the
so
sheet.
what are we doing?
He knows what he's looking at.
And
So you add that to his natural talent, his football education, not his football talent too.
So you're saying it's the right to dream thing that's helping us with people like these
Kudus,
boys.
all these
Kudus.
boys
Nyama.
are coming-
All our good guys are right to dream.
Plus the remnants of the Wafa system, which is what we are dealing with,
Majid
Ashimeru
Ashimeru.
and the rest.
Apart from that, the rest the Frefrebo.
and just to jump on what Godfred is saying, it is why, for example, you find players from countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, Burkina Faso,
Senegal.
and Senegal. They are 17, 18. They are being sold for €1 million.
Look at this Adingra guy.
Very good.
Adingra.
Because by the time he gets to Europe at 16, like Godfred is saying, if you print out a tactical sheet for him to read, he understands what his position demands. So his integration into European football is very easy. He doesn't, all you need to add are finer bits, but he goes into that. Like, I give an example, Yves Bissouma.
He was-
Godfred and I first saw Yves, and the moment I saw Yves Bissouma, I said, this guy was destined
He was playing
good.
for Chan.
He was playing in the Chan tournament. He was playing in Mali at the
Stade
time.
Malien also.
Stade Malien. He went from Stade Malien to Lille, straight to Lille.
Local player.
Why?
He didn't want
Because
to lose it on the bench.
he went,
He
to
went to play.
from there to
Lille
start play at
to-
Lille.
he
to
was
start.
playing at Lille. Why? Because his education is so solid. Plug him into Europe and he fits. Down here, we are not giving that kind of education to our footballers. So you take a 16-year-old Ghanaian player, you take him to Europe, he almost has to start from zero. And so he's behind. That is what we want entities like the FA and
So
the
Sky,
ministry should do.
what are they saying? Explain to me what they are saying. So what are they trying to say?
In other words, we are doing the thing the wrong way.
So it's
The
not good.
system
correct it.
that we need to build to give us the quality we need to aspire to greater heights, we don't have that system. Even if there is a system, that system has been corrupted by all kinds of interests, incapable of deciding the future of Ghana in a positive way.
Charlie, play me this guy's song.
Just give me
I
2
want to.
minutes.
I'm coming.
I just want
I want
to
to
add
lift
something.
my spirit small.
Okay.
So play me the song.
Which one?
Yeah, Ko Nyami Fie. Because
Let me finish 2 minutes.
no, I have time. I'm going till 9:15 where I do what's the name?
Effective Living.
Living
Oh,
series.
okay.
So I have
Time.
don't worry, cry.
Okay.
You just want to lift
Yeah,
the
you have
spirit.
to have.
Because I need to deal with the sports minister. a
I'm
bit.
down.
Yeah.
I'm down. I want to raise
Today,
myself.
I have to tell him a few hard
You know,
truths.
the
as
Bible said
always.
David encouraged himself in the Lord. So I want to encourage myself with this song. More comments. Sky, read more comments for us before the
Okay,
the-
this one says that good morning, team.
Yes.
If Comoros player can go beyond 5 defenders to score as
No,
dead.
it's not Comoros. Or is it? Or is that the
No,
defender?
yeah, I think that maybe the first one. You know, the last
The
time
Jewish,
they finished with. Cape Verde can score us any day. Evidence was what happened yesterday. Hey, so baby, you know that player, baby.
Yeah,
He's in the La
ex-Man
Liga.
United player.
Who couldn't play Man United was all over Ghana like that. Our team experience is not as bad as Jordan tried to make it look like. Cape Verde was equally inexperienced. Reset now. It's coming in from Kujo
Chantan.
in Chantine. This one says, hello, Citi, please. Am I the only one who sees that Baba Idrisu is not just good enough?
He's a poor fit. Not
Baba Idris is a defensive midfielder.
yeah, he's a poor fit. He's not. You don't play
Where is Salih Samed? The lens.
Salih-
Alice
on the
came
bench.
on later.
Why didn't he start?
because we play Baba Idris. Baba Idris statistically is our best DM.
Statistically, yeah.
Yes.
But I didn't see it all.
This one says,
Even though he has a bit of a weakness, he can't receive the ball with his
Ball with his
back
back.
to play. So if you notice, late in the game, he was dispossessed. It's one of his biggest
He can't.
weaknesses.
He said, but why?
Why?
Doesn't
you know-
scan well.
He doesn't scan well.
Partey is very good at that.
Yeah.
Partey is world class.
But is world class.
What about Shimeru?
Ashmeru's an 8.
He's
Ashmeru
an
won't
8,
drop
he's
that
not a
deep
6.
to
He won't
receive
drop
the ball.
that deep.
So positionally, who did well for Ghana yesterday? Who was our best player?
Jiku.
Yesterday, Chiku was our best
Chico
player.
was out.
Defender.
Yes.
Is it Strasbourg still?
No,
No, he's gone to
Fenerbahce.
Turkey. He's a Fener now.
Very good.
Fenerbahce, yeah.
Escalating is good.
Who was our second best player?
Hey, why you want best player, second best
I just want to
player?
know. Pencil?
No, I think the keeper did well. I mean, in terms of the goal.
No, Nathan said the keeper didn't do
Oh,
well.
no,
The
Nathan,
first
yeah,
goal there-
don't-
As for
Yeah,
the first goal, I
The keeper was at fault.
Yeah.
blame him completely.
What about Pencil?
Pencil did good
Pencil
before
did good before he was young.
He didn't
Pencil
start
was
the
solid.
He
game
didn't
too
start
well,
the
but he
game
grew
too
into the
well.
game.
What
Just
about
like Semenyo.
What about
It took
Semenyo?
Semenyo was
a while
solid
to get
too.
going.
Yeah, Semenyo was also solid.
Who was our
Yeah,
worst
that's
player?
Oh, it's not easy to tell. Koningsdorfer.
Oh,
Charlie
He was
Collins.
lost.
is it German or where is he from?
Koningsdorfer.
Yeah.
Koningsdorfer.
Yeah, he's from Hamburg. Very good player.
Very good.
Very good player.
So
what
Two
happened to
things
him?
worried him.
What happened to him?
Koningsdorfer
He's not used to playing with them.
was ruined by two things. One, the lack of chemistry between himself and his teammates. And two, he was played out of position.
But why didn't they let Iñaki play earlier?
That's the tactical question.
Yeah,
you
those
have
are
to
the
ask
tactical
Chris
questions. But you see, all of this just highlights a lack of depth because we didn't have. Think about it. Koningsdorfer was playing where Kudus would have played.
So his Kudus
So it just tells you that we don't have enough depth or we don't have players to do different things.
Well, Partey
That
would
is
have
something.
made a difference. If
At
we had
10?
Partey and this guy in the team, Kudus,
I don't know.
they were both fit.
I don't know.
They would have done some magic,
We don't know. That's the thing.
like Essien and
Is it-
Muntari.
It's a lot of ifs.
I miss those days. So, Essien, where are you?
If, you
Muntari.
cook, if,
Oh
if
God.
we cook the food well at the bottom,
Sky, read more comments.
This one says, when the fundamentals are weak, the tournaments will expose you. It's coming in from Roland.
Charlie.
And this one says, good morning. Football for Ghana is all about making money for personal reasons with no clearly defined plans to recover the rot. You want to say to deal with the rot. There is no way we won't perform poorly in a tournament. This one says, no matter what, let's keep supporting our team. This is the only country we have. It's coming in from Flo. Flo, I agree with you.
I mean, as for support, we'll support. But things will have to get better.
No, me, I'm going to play golf.
that's why you reach.
Golf is for rich people.
Look,
I want
talking
to be
about that,
rich.
The way they walk, you don't like walking like
But
that.
my friend
I
did
wanted-
call me. He said, Aloski, golf, we even have, he said he has a racket, something for me.
No,
The golf
Yeah, he
clubs.
said,
golf
he said,
club.
yeah, so,
But-
No.
yeah, so I should come and play.
No, man, when they take you
Prophet,
away to
talking-
that area,
Yeah.
Then we have lost you.
Why?
We the people. We
Because
the
now
people.
you belong to
I'm
us.
growing my heart.
The masses.
Sky,
You can't give your heart to Black Stars.
Sky. Somebody said to me, if you don't, I have to keep my heart too.
Do you know what happened to me yesterday? I supported Manchester United in Ghana.
Yeah,
Do you know the weight on my heart?
But 2-2 was okay.
Masa.
Spurs is a good team.
Santo,
Masa.
Bob Santo could have done better.
Masa.
No,
Everybody
but
they-
my
Anyway,
heart.
You listen to
Let's
it.
finish
I
the
just
message.
want to say something quickly.
Go ahead.
Godfrey, you're talking about Cape Verde. There was something I've noticed about Guinea-Bissau, Cape Verde,
Equatorial Guinea.
and Mozambique and
The
Equatorial Guinea.
Ninos.
Yeah.
The
Now,
so-called Minos.
this is what now.
They are digging up the
This is what they are doing.
Ninos are finishing.
Half their players, or 2/3 of their players, are born in places like Spain or Portugal.
Okay.
The benefit is that by the time somebody who's born in Portugal plays football, by 1920 he's cooked because the
Eliminate.
Portuguese system is very good. What these guys will do is that they'll go and scout around
For the lower teams and
and
things.
then bring them in, because there's no way a player Ryan Mendes will ever play for Portugal. There's no way he'll play for
Yeah.
Portugal.
So it's like the second tier Portuguese players.
So you bring them in and then you put them
Strategy.
together. Godfrey made the point a few weeks ago about Comoros. He said the Comoros team that was bad 10 years ago, you have the same crop 10 years on, they are better. But they'll be
Been
better.
through adversity.
They've been through adversity. But you see, at the base of all of this is a certain basic
Education.
good
they had
footballing education.
at a young
Now,
age.
what add experience to it, and you get a performance like yesterday.
But Koningsdorf has education. Ajiku has education. Pentil has education. Ashimeru has education.
But they don't have chemistry.
But there's no chemistry.
But that one, do you have to teach it?
No.
Yes.
You have
You
to
have to teach
keep
the
them
chemistry.
together.
You have to grow it.
Grow it.
But they play in leagues that they don't allow them to come and play. National team. They
But
come-
that is where the development comes. Bernard, I just read, look, that plan I read you from Senegal, if we went to Burkina Faso, is the same.
So what's
If
the
we went-
difference between them and
it's the
Ghana?
same.
I don't understand. You're saying like they should keep our team to play at the youth level together. Or
No, you
what?
see, the kids, you watch the recent under 20, was it the 17 or
Under
20?
17.
Under 17 World Cup. Give it 5 years. Those kids that you watched for Senegal or Mali, 6, 7 of them
Will turn out.
will turn up and play for the senior team. That is
But
chemistry.
we don't have a system like that here.
No, not anymore.
So now that they just look for good players in Right to Dream, they do well in Europe.
They
bring them
emerge
together.
and then we bring them.
We don't
Previously,
grow
we
teams.
used to grow them before they
So
go.
like Asian,
Uh-huh.
Derek Boateng, Sule Muntari, they
would
were
have
together.
known each other since they were 12 years old.
I get you. So they played together for like 10 years.
Yes.
You know, when you move her, this is how I play
They,
the
they might grow up and end up at different clubs.
But they know each other for
But
national team
they've grown up together.
because they've been excellent at
It's
that
a
level for the
system.
country.
It's a system.
Okay, I get you now.
You see,
I get
which
you
is
now.
why they say you play in the 17s together, you play in the 20s, you play in the 23s.
By the time you reach national
By the
team,
time
you
you reach
know
national team,
the move.
you understand each other.
So Asamoah Essien, Sule, and Cody have played together
Because
for a long
if you
time.
could Asamoah show up later, all you have to do was do this, and he knows how Asamoah will run.
See the pass he gave Asamoah with
Over the
right
top.
foot something be. And Asamoah said, this pass is too
out
good, I
of
won't
the
spoil
boot.
it. I have to
Out
score.
of the boot.
You understand? When we brought the under 20 kids, the 6 under 20 kids to the 2010 AFCON, was it not because of chemistry?
Yeah, because they knew each other already.
They
Ajima
knew each
Bedu's
other.
team, Poku
That's
Ajima,
Andre.
Andre's team.
Samuel Inku.
Yeah.
Jonathan Mensah.
Jonathan Mensah.
We watched the
Yeah.
2010 final with Egypt. About half of the team was those
They
guys.
knew each other. They had chemistry. You see, but we've broken that chain. Look, at the moment, the way our national team campaign system works, I'll explain to you. So, what happens is they put out a list of 200 players.
200.
Oh, yes, everybody goes 7 days.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you.
200
Yeah,
players.
before they build up to the team. So, if we have a tournament, the
Let's
coach
say under 17.
the coach will put out a list of 200 players that should come and be tested if they will make it. That test alone takes 3 months.
200 players.
Yes, he will sieve it. Now they go. Now they spend roughly sometimes a month and a half in camp. Then they have to break camp because then there are feeding issues. There are all kinds of issues. They go on vacation,
Mosquito issues.
whatever. Then they go back home. They come back. Sometimes it's a new team that comes. You understand? So we've not had that consistency. When maybe 95, 97, 98, 2000 at that time, at the Winneba Sports College, before you make it to under 17, they would have been in camp at Winneba for a whole year. January to December.
Under 17.
They only go home Thursdays to go and train with their league teams for Friday if need be.
Wow.
Play league games on Sunday, return to
And
camp
then if there are 1 or 2 internationals, they bring them in later.
in later
So the core of the team has been together for a year.
for a year consistently.
Wow.
Okay, wake up together, watch close together, play small posts together. in the same facility, supervised by a coach or supervised by coaches. That is how we used to do these things that the other countries have built on.
Oh, Charlie.
We no longer do those things that Senegal, Burkina Faso, Mali.
So it's not like they are doing any wild
No,
thing.
no, no, no. They've simply built on what we used to do.
What are we doing now?
We just make money. We like money.
We like money.
I tell you, we like money.
You are serious?
And we like to waste money.
Hey.
You see, I've always said this thing on the show. Ghana, we don't respect dollar. Somebody says, oh,
$3 million.
$3 million.
Sure.
You know, you've been to the States, right? You know when you go to a shop and you give somebody $100,
Kill the person.
the shopkeeper,
They'll-
they'll check it.
They'll say $100 is too much.
It's
man.
too much money.
$20, $10, $5.
You cannot.
Unless you pay with a card.
With a card. As soon as you give somebody, I'm sure in the UK,
UK, 50
if you
pounds.
give somebody 50 or 100 pounds, they are checking.
Well, yeah,
What
yeah.
is this?
Are you a drug guy?
I've
Go
experienced-
to a politician's wedding here. We share $100. We throw on people. It's the same way we spend money on. We don't respect money when it comes to our resources. So we see the national team budget, and that's the thing. They've gamed the system. I'll explain to you. Look, the Black Stars is a money-making machine.
Not for long.
Oh, it will be for long
With these performances.
because we are corrupt.
We'll go and watch
Why
it.
have we stopped playing football? No, that is not where the money comes from.
Where does the money come from?
Why don't we play qualifiers? Have we stopped playing qualifiers?
So how do they make money from that?
Why do you think there has not been any motivation to get the team a proper camping place? Don't we camp in hotels?
Somebody's
Don't people
business.
bid for it? Doesn't somebody have to cook for the team? Somebody has to transport things? It's a whole money-making cycle.
Is that what it is all about?
That is what it has become. That is, whether we like it or not, is the honest truth. It has become that for the administrators. It has become that for the politicians. In between, somewhere along the line, both of them came to an agreement that if we play ball with each other, we can all make money and be fine.
Obi Abedi.
Obi Abedidi. Peche. Which is why when the Ghana Football Association sends an estimate that we are going to pay 5 people $100,000 each for no work done, but being management committee members, when common sense and good sense has said that a national team does not need 5 people to manage it, it does not make sense. The whole English national team does
Managed
not
by
have
one.
one person.
It's managed by one person.
All the national teams are managed by one.
Up until recently, Oliver Bierhoff
One person.
was managing the German.
They have an
national
MD.
And we have 5.
We have 5 people for every national team at every age group.
And they were all paid.
No, I'm just saying every national age.
So Black Stars
Yeah,
has
Black
Black
Stars
Queens
has
has
5.
satellites, meteors,
If not,
princesses,
as soon
maidens,
as that
starlets.
budget shows up at my office as a minister, you tell me you are paying Bernard Avle, Godfred Odum, Nathan Kwao, and Richard Sky $100,000 for 2 weeks in 2 weeks worth of work in Qatar. I will tell you are joking. I should give you $500,000 for doing what? When we don't have proper pitches to play on, when we don't have proper coaching going on. But that is what we do. We sign off it. Why? Because I will collect my share. Let's be honest about it. So, a lot of people have become rich off the back of the Black Stars. In doing so, what we've also done is create a culture around the Black Stars, for the Black Stars players themselves, where they see themselves as above everyone else. Which is why I always insisted that we must get that Black Stars team to train here. They spent a week and a half here. They were complaining.
We're complaining.
They
Bad
started
road.
leaking stories to our friends in the media. Chale Kwai Ninyo, Chale Park Ninyo. That is what we've been training on. It was the same players who were leaking the stories. We know. They called us, they text us. They were leaking the stories. Chale, we need to move them. You want to go where? You collect the 10,000, you collect the 50,000, you collect the 60,000. None of them have the common sense to tell our people that, hey, where will we go and train? Nathan was just telling me, henceforth, Mali is no longer training anywhere apart from Mali. They just opened their national
a
center.
lovely center.
And this is Mali supposedly with.
This Mali
Mali with their
no
cool
money
and craziness.
cool.
But in Ghana,
It's serious.
the politicians show up. They make big promises. Our sports people, the sports ministers, which is why I don't limit it to one. All of them. We've had awful sports ministers. The past 4 or 5. Horrible. Because none of them actually is interested in doing the work. Everybody is interested in how they can figure out, oh, there is money here. There is money there. There is money there. The latest one is the AstroTurf economy. That is what it is. It's a procurement economy. They figured out, okay, people like football in Ghana.
So let's
Okay, they said we'll give them AstroTurfs. Maybe perhaps it started off as a good idea, but then it has metamorphosed into something else. I'll tell you a story. Saturday, I got a call from my district league. We are starting the league on Friday. I go to, we are coming for league inspection. I say, inspection of what? They say we have to inspect your pitches.
Jesus.
I play in the Accra West district. They say we are building 100 astroturfs and we've done whatever. I'm coming. The venues for Accra West, Karikari Park, belongs to the ECG. It used to be a big park a long time ago. It has been encroached. It's now very small. It's a Sandy Sakura Park. We like it, no problem. Jesus is a live park. It's eroded halfway. That is my home venue. That's where I will play.
Jesus has left the place.
Yes. Jesus is a live park. Dansum and Sahara. It is my home turf. I will play there with 4 other teams. That is our home grounds.
You share that.
I'll share that. Wesley Grammar Secondary School has just joined. Girls' school at Mamprobi. That pitch is the size of our lawn at the back here.
Very small.
It's very small. It's an AstroTurf, the Steve Napier Park. It's named after Steve Napier. Horrible AstroTurf. That turf has not lasted 1 year. It's ripped up completely. Go and look at it. Those are the venues.
What about Indafa? Indafa Park.
Indafa is Sakura. Indafa plays Coles.
So there's no
That's
proper
level
park in that
below.
area. What about Karino?
Karendorf, Liberty is playing, the Liberty Academy is playing.
So
this
you can't,
season.
your small team can't play there.
No, so Liberty will be using that park. The Liberty Academy will be using that park. It just got recently introduced.
So there's no proper park in that.
So
whole-
that is it. And I'm sure other places would have that
So
situation.
a sensible system would have been to create a proper
To
park.
create those avenues. Now, they say we've put up youth resource centers, which have pitches. Those pitches are not available for development. Why? Because there's one in Kofodia, they just opened it.
There's one in Ho, I think.
There, if the last time I was in Kofodia to do coast football, I brought together 24 teams. All of them train at different places. How many of those teams do you think can even play a league match there? Will have access to even train on the grass pitch. They'll train where they train. The AstroTurfs have cut off access for half the footballing population of this country. You have to pay 300 or 400 cedis. Go to Fadama, the AstroTurf there. They have put right now it's Scales because they have patched it. We've patched it like Joseph's robes. We are patching AstroTurfs
The pitch
like we are
of many
patching
colours.
roads.
Jesus.
Unless you don't use the AstroTurfs. Now the thing about the AstroTurfs is this, which we have turned into a national football policy, that we are bringing infrastructure. So AstroTurfs, and the problem. I have no beef, let me be clear, with AstroTurfs. Done well.
They must be done well.
But why is it that a lot of the countries that are using AstroTurfs are also saying, let's shift from AstroTurfs? We are now going there. What we have, basically, is to build concrete platforms for most of them. Some of them are well done, I cannot complain. But most of them are concrete platforms. And then we put this carpet, grass-looking carpet on it. One, it gets very hot. A lot of the AstroTurfs that have been built don't come with sprinkler systems. So you cannot even water it for the kids to play. So if it gets very hot, between 10 and 1 or 10 and 2, better nobody can play on those AstroTurfs because as soon as the kids play on it, their feet start boiling. They take off the boots and you see blisters. You cannot also put water on the boot when you play on those pitches. The second part, for the kids who are growing, and Same Kufuor raised this issue as soon as they started building the AstroTurfs. Siki Akono has spoken about this. A lot of the professional players, when you talk to them privately, will tell you this. We are killing ACLs.
Cruciate ligament.
Ligaments. We are just setting
Anterior
up.
cruciate
We are
ligament.
just setting up these kids
So these are your knees.
to end their careers by the time they are 22. Because it's a constant pounding of your knees, ankles, on hard concrete.
It's not good for it.
It is not good.
You need to play on
We
proper
can
grass.
complain about the Sakura parks all we want, but it has sand on it.
So your leg will not have that
So
same friction.
it does not have that same friction. That contact is not there. The problem with the Sakura pitches is it's not good for ball control.
Yeah.
But it's also the reason why Ghanaians have always been good midfielders. It helps you to improvise. Your reaction time on ball is very different.
So that's his advantage.
It has its advantages, but it's not really good going forward. I understand that and I accept it. But what we should not accept is putting up 100 of these injury machines. That one you have to pay to use, you don't have adequate access to, and there's nobody to supervise it. And 4, they are of the worst quality. Like I'm saying, go and check Alajo. Go and check Fadama. Go to Ajingano. Go and look at it. Go to Medina, Zongo, AstroTurf. Wherever there's an AstroTurf, those in other places that I don't know about, people should tell me. The other time somebody shared a video of a new one that had been done in the Ashanti region. Within 1 year, Bernard, the wind was blowing it like this. You could see the carpet in the air. AstroTurf. Where in the world do you see AstroTurf being carried like Obintuma? Where?
So the problem is much deeper.
It's much deeper, see, and all these things contribute ultimately to what you saw yesterday. Because where is the next generation of talents coming from? Your competitors' next generation have a consistent access to these facilities, which are decent. I'm saying by all means build the AstroTurfs, but then build proper AstroTurfs.
Don't make it your policy to replace grass.
You understand? I'm saying even so, find the balance. Tell me you will build 50 grass pitches and 50
They
AstroTurfs.
say they can't maintain the grass.
No, why can't you maintain it?
What is preventing us from maintaining?
Why can't you maintain
It's too difficult.
it?
And we want to win big things.
No, but okay.
So even a national stadium, the grass is not good.
You see, Bernard, I shared a video recently of the Stade de Kegre in Lomé. Nathan knows those places well. Did you see the pitch?
Even Lomé.
Did you see the pitch? I'm not sure it snows in Lomé. Did you see the quality of the pitch? Professor Chumesi, our NSA boss, is always talking. I read a rejoinder he wrote. I don't know why the minister is entertaining him. Leave him alone, to sack him to go and run for his MPship. He has no idea. Chumesi has no idea. Look, I say he's a smart man. You don't become a professor by not being smart. But in the current space that he occupies, he's ignorant. And he's happily ignorant. He refuses to listen to anybody and perpetuates this, I know my rights, I know. You went and look at the thing they did with the Accra Sports Stadium pitches. Look at the thing they did with it. Look at the thing they did with it. And he came out to justify it. Go on. Comoros will score us. Cape Verde will score us.
So against Egypt and Mozambique, there's no hope.
I hope we do well. We can recover. We can recover. It's a first game.
But it doesn't deal with the long-term issues.
But again, that's
We
the
have
thing.
to
And we
deal
tend,
with the
see,
long-term
and that's the
issue.
problem. We tend to overlook the long-term issues for the short-term success and joy. So Ghana wins a game. Then we say, I know my level.
I know my
my
level.
Because Ghana has won a
We should be
game.
positive. The media shouldn't be negative.
Negative. No, that is not what we are looking for. Build a sustainable long-term plan. If you do that, Bernard, it benefits the entire business economy. Bernard, I'm in football to make money. I'm in football to make money. And I told you this story. Last season, we sold players at the same level as 2 other kids from Mali. Bernard, cumulatively, we sold those players from Ghana for $80,000. 3 boys. Each of the kids that left from Mali left for $500,000. You know what I'll do with $500,000 in this
The system
country?
doesn't respect our players anymore.
Of course, because what is he? What is the value?
They don't have value.
The kid.
What skills
the
are they
value? What
bringing?
skills are you imbibing in the kids?
I don't need Bobo.
No. What do you add to the player that makes you think the player is worth $500,000? The person flies from Germany to Genfoot.
Wow.
When you're walking
And
around
Genfoot is in Senegal,
The
by the way.
Genfoot alone, landing there is $100,000 on the price. Before you
The
go and watch the
facility
talent.
proper.
So when he sees a player from some place, it's just a
but
raw
what you
material.
Help us. That's what we are saying. If the state does not supervise the Football Association properly and say, look, the Football Association has a certain level of autonomy. And it's true. But I keep on making this point, and the sports minister must understand this. There is no country whose football will develop independent of state supervision and direction. Don't tell them what to do, but share ideas with them and say that, look, the Football Association is short-term because presidents come and go. The state exists long-term. So it's the Football Association that is supposed to execute what? The state's plan.
But FIFA say interference.
No, that is not. That's what I'm saying. That have a
we have
conversation
a
around it. Have a conversation around it. Until then, Egypt, bo. The last one is
Mozambique.
Mozambique, bo.
Very likely
Like
we're
I said,
coming.
we can win the AFCON, but it will still not take away my complaint. We will be happy for a week, but let's do things right.